Hey, hey, welcome to our listeners. Welcome to Wake Up and Dream. Are you guys excited? Oh my gosh.
I need this episode. I already know the topic, so I'm very excited over here.
Yay. Well, it seems like forever since the three of us have recorded together. So yay for being back with Sarah and Kelly. And I'm Lisa, and we're so glad you're here. Today's topic is routines. Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you go in and out of having them? Well, we're going to dive in and talk about how important it is to have some routines. We already have some routines. You get up, you make your bed, you take a shower, you brush your teeth. You don't even think about that routine because you've done it since you were a little kid, right? And that routine has become subconscious. But other routines are still in that conscious state and needing to be repeated, rinse and repeat, so that it becomes just a part of what we do. So fall, we're heading into fall. And some kids are already at school, which is unbelievable. Our kids aren't back to school yet. And this is when people start thinking about, I got to get some routines back in. I got to start thinking about what kind of things are my priorities. So what do you guys think is like the hardest thing about like creating routines and maintaining them? Like where do you fall off the bus?
Well, I fall off the bus during summer. And it's just really difficult for me personally to keep up with certain priorities of mine during the summer because everything is in flow. So like my kids are in camp, but every week the camp schedule changes, and then some days they're home, and it's really like the focus that I want. Like I feel like I really would love to get XYZ accomplished. That doesn't end up happening all the time because I don't have this like set routine, and it's driven by the school year a lot of times. And I hate that it is, but like I'm also looking forward to that refresh when September rolls around of like, okay, back to school. We're going to be up early again. We're going to be getting on the bus and all of the things, and I'll have some time to focus, like to refocus on different priorities of mine.
Yeah, I'd like to say too, like, I love that you mentioned September because I feel like I've been talking to a lot of moms recently, and like, this is January for them. Like, the end of August, September is like when their year starts. And
The new year.
Yeah, right, exactly. Where you kind of have this refresh and this restart and the new goals and new priorities, new routines that you feel more energized to do, to make, to think about, to dream about. I live for routine. So Sarah, I'm completely on board with you where summer kind of, it's exciting, it's fun, it's random, but then I feel like sometimes for the working mom or even the stay-at-home mom in general, like we lose momentum. For me, it's momentum, and that really bothers me. Like then I just feel like I am falling off the bus because uh, then I just feel like, how do I get restarted? And then as a Enneagram 9, I feel myself just like being lazy about it. But then in the back of my mind, there's always something chirping that, that I should be doing this and I should be doing that and this should be started and don't forget about this and you really love doing this. But then being home with Jace, it's like, but he needs entertained and all the things. So yeah, routines get kind of thrown off in the summer, but I don't think we should beat ourselves up. Like that we do deserve a vacation, right? Lisa, you were there too when your kiddos were smaller and did all the things in the summertime.
Exactly. And I was thinking about like when you bring home a new baby and you're like, I make my to-do list. I'm going to, have this done and I'm going to clean out this closet because I'm home now, right? Like I'm on maternity leave. I can do all these extra things because I'm off work. And then, the baby doesn't have a routine and you're totally thrown in flux. And some, a to-do list that was supposed to, ideally get done in one day, you got it done in a week and a half, you finally got to the bottom of the to-do list. Like, I remember the transition of expectations, just like releasing and editing, because I was thinking I had all this time. I mean, the baby sleeps, right? But and then the baby would get into a routine and you're like, oh, yes, she definitely falls asleep here and wakes up here. And then they'd have a growth spurt. And then the whole routine was just out of whack completely. So, think about that. I mean, many moms can totally remember those days. But we have the same thing even as our kids get older. We have times when our kids are home. We have times, my last baby is going off to college. That's going to create a different routine for me. And that's okay. That's the ebbs and flows of life. And I want to just encourage the moms and my dear friends, Sarah and Kelly, like, summer, like, what if your routine is to spend time with your kids? Like, what if that is the expectation? What if that is like your routine is to be flexible? like, like still taking time for you, but it's that balance, and we have to rebalance things. In my direct sales business, like, now it's trip earning points. And so, establishing routines and working my business consistently, and teaching my team how to do that is part of how you grow your business, how you get stuff done. And the 3 words that really resonated in this last training that our team trainer taught us were, if you want to see something grow, or a habit get established, or a routine grab some, legs and get some momentum behind it, there's 3 things. There's 3 words that need to be always in your mind. And these are the 3 words that I've literally been thinking about with my business. And the 3 words are frequency. Right? If you say, oh, I want to exercise, but you only like exercise like once every blue moon, like, that's not going to give you a routine, right? So frequency, how often am I going to do this behavior or habit? The second word is consistency, which is kind of in the same vein, right? How frequent, but are you being consistent? Is it the same time of the day? Is it the same, order of your routine? And the last one is intentional, which I absolutely love. I've been just loving the word intentional because it stirs my heart. It's, for whatever reason, intention is like not a goal. It's like heart-centered. It just makes me feel like, oh yes, my intention is to move my body every day. And when I word it like that, it motivates me. It puts me in a mindset that like stirs, like, this is good for you, Lisa. You're doing this for you, and you're going to feel good and be proud of yourself.
Lisa, I'm so glad that intentional was one of the words, because I feel like that's it. Like, we kind of lose the momentum. Sarah and I, we kind of get scrambled with, but we're not making it intentional with whether it's personal life with our kiddos, or whether it's our businesses or the podcast, whatever it is, it's the intentional feeling towards anything. But then I also like how you said in your LeBri business, like, you're working towards a goal. And I think maybe, I don't know, I can't speak for you completely, Sarah, but for myself, like, I'm lacking that goal. Like, what am I trying to create? What is the goal? What's the end means? And then you can have that frequency, that consistency, being intentional. Like, if you don't know if you want to lose 5 pounds or 25, or write a book, or start a business, or, whatever the case may be, like, if there's no goal, you feel like you're just not working towards anything. So I don't know, Sarah, do you feel like maybe you're like me, just kind of lacking and stating a goal to work towards, because everything's just kind of spinning and you're just trying to survive the summer.
Yeah, no, I do think that's definitely at play here. And I feel like if I had a routine, I could focus on creating a goal that will then kind of make all of these things fall into place. So I feel like the routine is like a prerequisite for me. And I don't want to, I know that you guys both mentioned this, like I do think a lack of routine does serve a purpose in some cases. Like I know in June, I was so excited for just like a change of routine. You know, the kids had camp, they were going to be home more. We were going to do some fun things. We were going to go away. But now that we're like nearing the end of summer and rolling into this next set of routines, it's like I'm craving now this other shift, this shift into like when we get back into these routines. And I feel like just having like you need both, because if you don't have both, you don't have that same appreciation, right? And so I think it is important to have the lack of routines. I think that once I start getting up a little bit earlier, getting my goals on paper, and it's funny because I'll be like laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I want to do this and this. And like I get these hits, but I'm not putting pen to paper and I'm not like stating it as my goal. And that is where I'm like kind of falling off, because when I'm in this space of like, oh, I got to get the kids from camp in like 10 minutes, literally, I have to leave to go get the kids from camp. I have to do this and that and the other thing. And I'm running around. That's not a focus for me throughout the day, because there's so many other things that I need to like check off the list, so to say. So I think getting up earlier will help in that.
Well, and don't you think that like, you know, I haven't been consistent with this, but I know when I did is like before you go to bed, setting your intention for the next day.
That's really good, Lisa.
Lisa, do you like write anything down before you're going to bed? Like I wanted to actually get a notebook and put it next to my bed for that reason, because I feel like a lot of times I'm getting those things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to have a notebook by your bed is a super smart thing to do, because as we wind down, we can reflect back with gratitude on the good things that we were able to do, and the relationships and the connections and the to-dos. But then setting an intention, and I've been trying to set one focus. Like, yes, I have got my notebook is this. These are all of my goals, my to-dos, like a whole stinking page of 15 different things. And I have that because as I'm, I gave samples to so-and-so, I got to make sure I follow up, write that on my list. But my intention is like the focus. Like these are all of the things that I could do. And so writing them all down, but then going back and go, okay, so what is my focus for tomorrow? Where am I going to start? What's my intention? What do I really want to hone in on and make my intention? So that's been working for me.
I love how timely this conversation is with exactly what I need. I really think that when I'm editing this, I'll be taking notes, because that's actually usually how I roll. I'll text Lisa and Kelly while I'm editing, being like, oh my God, this is so good. A few big things that I just got from this, like very short and sweet episode. One is to allow these shifts in schedule and to be flexible, allow these shifts in routine, because they do serve a purpose. Another is, once you create that routine, to keep in mind Lisa's words. So frequency, consistency, intentional. I think intentional is a huge, huge word when you're talking about routines. And then remaining focused and get that goal down, because writing your intentions the night before, which I'm going to start doing, getting your goal on paper, looking at it every day, which we talk about all the time, is just a really, really important part in creating routines and actually taking action and making things happen. So just think about, what space are you in at the moment? Are you in this moment of a little bit of chaos mixed in with a little bit of like, oh man, I wish that I could do XYZ throughout the day? Are you in this space of just getting back into that school routine and feeling refreshed? Maybe you're a little bit different than I am, and the routine stresses you out, and that's okay too. Just recognize that and make adjustments based on wherever you are right now. And how do you want to make shifts in whatever you are noticing about your current space? So right now I am in the midst of chaos, and I'm looking for that more structure to come in the next few weeks. What are you wanting to shift in the next few weeks? So message in, let us know how you received this message of routines today. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, we encourage you to wake up, dream, and start making those goals that you have written down happen for you. So till next time.